everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are still waiting for a thunderstorm right now. A couple things that making me pause. One, our cumulus field is pretty dead. We were getting some towers earlier, not so much now. Not so much now. But there is an enhanced risk out today for a small part of Oklahoma, central Oklahoma area. Get all this pulled up here. So they've got an enhanced risk out for wind, a 5% tornado risk for roughly the I-40 corridor in western into central Oklahoma. It's not a very big 5%, but not a big 5%, but we're still chasing it. This will be my last chase, and tomorrow I will be off for sure. And then I might be back Thursday at the earliest, probably Friday. But another pretty interesting environment if we can get a storm. The problem is they released a weather balloon at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and it has a cap, a big cap in place that may prevent thunderstorms. Now, one thing to remember here is that this sounding is on the, seems like the northern side of the warm front slash pseudo outflow boundary, whatever it is. So it's a little bit colder there. Where I am at now, our temperature is several degrees higher, and our dew point is several degrees higher as well. So we got 76 dew point here roughly, which is really, really high. Excuse me, 74 dew point here in Weatherford with a 90-degree temperature. Norman on this sounding had an 80-degree temperature with a 72-degree dew point. So maybe we remove a little bit of inhibition with that, but we're still waiting for our storm. Welcome in, Elizabeth. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind if today busted for tornado potential. I mean, it's getting pretty close to the OKC area, so. We are just north of Weatherford, Oklahoma, looking south right now. There are some cumulus towers going up to our west and southwest, so we'll have to keep monitoring those. Didn't have to drive too far before this chase today, but it's hot. It's humid. Feels like a summer day. I even got some watermelon because it's just lots of water today. Stay hydrated because it's pretty intense out here. We're gonna have to see. I expect storms to get going in an hour or so. If they do end up firing here, that cap is just a little bit worrying. And by a little bit, I mean it is very, very worrying as for storm development. We gotta keep looking at the data. Gotta keep looking at the data. Medicine Park is showing 92/76. Cranfield's showing 98 over 75. That is intense. I do think we'll get a storm here. I just think it might be really, really tough. Moisture is a lot better today than yesterday. We've got a little bit more sources for lift today. Just now it seems like our cap is much stronger. I think I'm seeing a tower try to go up south of us, and that might be what we have to do. We may have to drop way south. Just because the cap might be too strong north. Now today is very, very conditional again. Looking at satellite here. Got some cirrus passing overhead. We've got some stable clouds in southern Oklahoma. Got some towers going up in the Texas Panhandle. We've got a little swirly here in western Oklahoma. Tried to initiate a storm earlier, it's already gone. So we're gonna have to keep our eyes peeled, and maybe we have to go down south, because I think I see an updraft really starting to take shape on satellite here, and I think we're looking due south at it, way off in the distance down there. It's really hazy because of how much moisture we have today. We've also got some towers kind of growing off to our west here. So we are just north of Weatherford. Debating taking a jog south just to get in better position. Head down towards Corner Colony. Maybe get closer to those updrafts trying to go up. Not sure. These are these updrafts trying to go up to our west. They're definitely looking a lot better than they were just 10 minutes ago, but that cap in Oklahoma has me worried. Check our mesoanalysis here. Alright, seems like it's working now, but we are kind of in this area right here, waiting for our storm. See, it's leaning towards firing storms further south now, so we're gonna have to keep that in mind. 3 Cape is pretty high in this area, that's good, but I'm mostly concerned about this cap here. I mean, this right here is probably a no-go if that I mean, if that was our warm sector, that probably wouldn't be good, but it's just north, I think, of this front, so might not be all bad. Our cap's probably a little bit less than this in reality, but it's still not something that's making me think, oh, you know, right away it's gonna go off. Yeah, because there's kind of this area in here. Turn on our interstates and our counties here, but make sure it's working. All right. There's kind of these towers going up here, and then there's these towers which are really close to where we're at. Both could go. I mean, I'm thinking about going south just because they look better right now, but I want to check and see what our 700 air is doing. 14C over Norman, which would be the strongest part of the cap. $700-ish. I mean, that cap is way stronger than that. No, it's about there. It's about there. So this could just be, this might be the meso analysis page reading that sounding data, but it thinks that this is just a localized spot of a higher cap with a weaker cap kind of moving in over the next few hours. These kind of red lines here are our temperatures way up at 700 millibars. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this, because this means it's gonna be tough to get a storm with that, if that's how it really looks in the warm sector, but I don't think it is. I mean, you're gonna have higher temps, higher moisture. I mean, where we're at right now, Weatherford. Oops, and go back a little bit. Refresh just in case. 89 over 75. So we have a much higher dew point and a higher temperature. So it probably isn't going to be that big of a deal if those tend to cool a little bit, and you know, our moisture and temperature are a little better. So seems like this little low pressure area is right here. It's a little bit further south than I'd expect, so we might go just chase the low. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna go south here really shortly. So we'll set you up. There we go. Drop south a little bit. I definitely think it's time to get moving. Welcome in, Pumpkin. Welcome from Paris. That's awesome. We are near Weatherford. North of Weatherford. We're about to go south, I think, just to get ahead. So thank you guys for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Leave a like if you like, obviously. Helps me out trying to grow the channel a little bit. Do some more chasing. We'll be down day tomorrow, but we will be back after that. Maybe we might be back Thursday, but probably Friday. I think I saw that one of the NAM model had a big jump in moisture in Texas Thursday, and I don't really know how realistic that is, but we're gonna keep it moving here. Time to keep it moving. Unfortunately, I was not able to get it fixed. It was not the cord, so that makes life a little bit tougher when we get back. Hopefully we can get it fixed on our down day. we're about to head down through Weatherford right now. We're gonna head south on Oklahoma 54, I believe. Because man, that cap in Norman is rough. But it's probably not as bad as advertised, because the forecast is for the air aloft to cool a little bit, and we're hotter and more humid in this area than they are. Yeah, I think I see those updrafts to the south. You guys might be able to see them better than me because we've got a polarizer on the camera, but they look a lot better than what we've got up here. I mean, one area could go or both could go. We don't really know yet, but latest her thinks that south goes. Keep it moving here. Got tons of instability today. We have dew points, I mean, in the mid 70s, which is, you always got to chase a dew point in the 70s. Are we okay? We're good. So we're gonna get on Oklahoma 54 here. Go south, because I think those updrafts south look a little bit better, but we can't get a great view of these things up here because we're so close. So these are these little updrafts that have been trying to develop overhead. I mean, they look okay, they just look really high based and a little fluffy, but with these storms it's going to be easier to get back north on them than it is going to be to get south, just because of how they're going to evolve most likely. Storms aren't supposed to be moving that fast if I remember correctly, so hoping that most of this supercell stuff stays way west of Oklahoma City, and hopefully that is what happens. I mean, that sounding might just force that, but it's going to be tough to get thunderstorms with what was it, like 70 sin? That's a lot to ask. Looks like we may have some cumulus going up east too. Alright. Keep it moving south. These definitely look a lot better down here, further south. They're not that far away, it's just because of with all the moisture in the air, they just seem really hazy, so. Look like they're north of Lawton. But the haze can also hide how poorly these things are doing, so. Definitely like a little cumulus field with some towers southeast of us. But they're not really that well developed. Stuff west is not as well developed as this stuff to our south either. Check on everything here. I just want to get a better view of these southern updrafts. I just think that low is a little bit further south than what we thought it was going to be. Thank you, man. Are you going to be out today? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I think it's Dorian. We've never met, so. I always catch some awesome stuff, though. Yeah, Brian, it is moist out today. Very, very hot and very, very humid. Oh, somebody just launched a sounding from Clinton. Clinton. Yeah, so it really does look like man, that's crazy. 93 over 74, that'll, and apparently they're just completely uncapped, so I guess that just proves that it is a localized little cap going through central Oklahoma right now. That is a crazy sounding. I mean, the wind profile is a little odd, but it should favor supercells. Right now. We'll stop at this next road up here. We're gonna stop at this next road. If this wasn't on a hill, we would stop there, but may just, oh, that would have been a good spot to stop and look. I think we got one here though. On our little road. Yeah, we've got an updraft trying to go up. We got a couple updrafts trying to go up. Out of the corner of my eye, it looked a lot better than it does right now. South does look a little bit rough too though, so it might just be another waiting game. But we definitely just have another attempt here. We tried to get one off earlier, but it just didn't. It was too small, and that seems like it's going to be the problem with this. Couple more updrafts directly in front of us trying to go. That stuff down south looks rough. And because of that sounding that they just launched in Clinton, I think it's probably a good idea to stay put. See how good our service is here. Probably manageable, but this is another attempt at a thunderstorm. These updrafts do look a little bit rough. It might just take a while to get something going. Let me look at the sounding again. .2146. Okay, so kind of a dry layer from 700 to about 500 millibars. Because this isn't it. I thought we had a, I just saw the edge of the updraft when I was driving. I was like, oh man, that exploded fast, but nope. Another turkey tower. Check satellite for down south. Yeah, I didn't look at Kansas too much today, if I'm being honest. I woke up super late, and I was just planning on chasing this central Oklahoma stuff. Welcome in, Brent. Yeah, I'm horrible with names and pronunciation, so that is the most turkey tower I've ever seen. But we've got a couple more solid updrafts trying to go up behind it. They look a little skinny too, so. And everything off to the east looks fluffy. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely some dry air entrainment problems going on with these right now. You can see it on that one on the left, how it's kind of shrinking and it's looking fuzzy on the edges, especially in the middle. This is a crazy turkey tower. It looks just actually like a mushroom cloud. Sorry, my door's broken, so it makes an annoying sound whenever I open it. Here's another turkey tower trying to go up. Yeah, Yeah, there might be initiation like down south first just because of these converging boundaries. Northwest of Lawton. We're gonna look at satellite again. I mean, it looks a little better than yesterday. No, we might be in the right spot. Alright, we're gonna hold here for a little bit. Because I'm betting that if something goes, it's gonna be off this little area of clouds. I mean, it's crazy that it just kind of poofed off like that. It was a strong updraft though, it just wasn't very wide. Tilt you guys up a little more. But we just had another attempt at a thunderstorm. This little area here keeps trying. Storms have initiated in the Texas Panhandle, it looks like. We've got a couple bands of cumulus here. Maybe there's another shortwave or something moving in here. And there goes another attempt. We're just gonna need a wider updraft. These things just are a little too narrow. I'm gonna get out and look around, look south real quick. We are still waiting for initiation. I was completely wrong when I thought we had that earlier. I'll be right back. I mean, it's basically the same. We're gonna measure what we've got for temperature and dew point because I'm curious. Got a little thing right here, so I'll be right back. We're gonna measure this and see where everything's at. just measured a 74.2 dew point with a temperature of 86.2. So definitely starting to cool off at least a little bit here. But you can see we've got more towers building and building on this little band here. Do we go west now? When in doubt, check satellite. Yeah, there's kind of like several bands of cumulus here. Definitely the tallest ones are on this band we're in front of. We might go could go south too. I just don't have a good view of what's happening down there. These things are looking really rough though. Definitely better than yesterday, I guess, which doesn't say too much, but like we have some more high-level clouds moving in, so that might be another little wave coming through that might initiate for us. Just gonna have to wait. Welcome to the stream, Babison. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Just gonna have to wait, hope the GoPro does not overheat. Because it loves to overheat with sunlight like this. Which is why I normally wait till after storms for them to start this stream. But we've definitely got some more interesting attempts here. I think that if those upper level clouds kind of come in and that is a forcing mechanism, I think this will go. But it might just be another 45 to an hour. But I think this is more development we're a little more interested in. I'm gonna finish off my watermelon here. things look pretty small too. I think we're just gonna have to wait for a wave to come through here. I think there's one more on the way. Maybe I mean, if all else fails, we should get storms on the cold front. More options today than yesterday for sure. There's definitely cooling aloft moving into this area according to mesoanalysis. I mean, that on the left looks a little interesting. We'll turn a little. But our GoPro's kind of a vampire, so it doesn't like the sun for too long. It's funny that turning reduced my service like that. Too hot for a lawn chair today. I think the nearest major city in Texas is Amarillo. Maybe Wichita Falls. No tornadoes yet. We're still waiting on a thunderstorm right now. I thought storms would be up by now, but that forecast clearly was wrong. So, no tornadoes yet in this area, Daniel. I mean, I think we're gonna get something from this though. This stuff here is looking a lot more solid. A lot wider. Especially that one on the left. Just need it to stay wide, keep the dry air away. It's just pretty narrow is kind of what's scaring me. Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking that one of these two, probably the one on the left, might initiate. There's also another one that's gone up a little bit further south that we can't really see all at the same time, but it's a little skinny, but it might make it. Forecast, yeah, I mean, a couple hours late. Yeah, it's just getting skinny really quickly. I think we are gonna have to wait for another wave. it's so... I mean, it is exploding though. I mean, I can see it moving vertically from here. It's probably not coming through on stream super well, but these are tall towers. This one might end up the same fate as the first couple. Definitely bubbling up though. Definitely looks a little bit more stormy than yesterday. We'll get out and look south real quick. South looks pretty solid too. Keep trying to initiate down there as well. Seems like there's already some people headed that way. I mean, this thing is just too skinny now. Like a similar thing's been happening south, so I don't really feel much need to move yet. This is about a county west of us. Well, that one, these are looking way better now. Still not quite there yet. See, this year we haven't really been on storms when they form like this. I've been hedging a lot this year, like sitting in between two targets and then picking one whenever storms go, so haven't been able to just watch these towers explode like this. One on the left is looking a little rough though. But each time one tries to go up, the one after it is a little bit better. I'd love for an anvil to block out the sun. That would be nice. I'm gonna take another measurement. I wanna see how our environment's changed. Be back in about 3 minutes. Looks like it's getting ready to go. I measured a 77 dew point, which is ridiculous. I don't even know if that's real. It seems a little high. There are also some towers going up east of us, which we'll have to watch, but I'm thinking this little band near Clinton's gonna initiate soon. I mean, there are several decent towers going up. I mean, the change is evident over the past 20 minutes. These clouds are kind of stationary, so these towers aren't really moving that much. It's not like they're coming towards us, they're just getting taller. Need a little bit more of a push. That stuff about 2 counties south doesn't look too bad either. definitely a couple towers going up east though, so we might have to turn around and go back. We'll have to see here. But we've got towers going south of us, we got towers going west and towers going east. Just not sure which one it's going to be. I'd rather not go east because I just don't want to be chasing through the Oklahoma City Metro very much. But if it's there, we'll go there. What is this coming through? It's like a little cloud line passing. What is that? These clouds were not here. These like low stratus looking things. This just has to be from the air starting to cool off. Because that's all new. That's just got to be like from the anvil cooling, or this updraft cooling the clouds below, or the air below, I mean. Because that was not there. It's kind of low band of clouds. Yeah, I think we might be having initiation east. South doesn't look that great, but east looks interesting. I think east looks better than where we're at. Getting some bubbles and stuff, but it still just looks like it's a ways away. What we'll do, we'll go east. If one of these does end up initiating, we might just turn back and get on this. Because there are definitely some bubbles going up near Hinton, El Reno, Yukon. I mean, there's just stuff trying to go up everywhere. It is humid. Alright, I'll show you guys what east looks like. It's way off in the distance. We're a lot closer to these western things, but I think we gotta go east. That's the updraft stuff trying to go up east. It doesn't look perfect. south is the move. Oh, thank you so much, WWTV. I really appreciate it. Just stay where you are and enjoy a nice sunset. I mean, it could, but I don't want to do that. I think east is going. I think east is exploding. But thank you so much, WWTV. I really, really appreciate it. I mean, every time I look, everywhere's just doing better, so I'm not quite sure. Alright, we're gonna go east. We're gonna head towards the El Reno area. We'll be there in about 4. Alright. I mean, we could go, so we'll take the long way around where we go south. And that way if south does end up being the place to go, we can just quickly get on that. I think I may have set a personal record for most turkey towers seen in a day. I mean, east is struggling a little, but it looks good. We are right on the edge of initiation. Oh, we took kind of an L there. Definitely took an L with the signal booster not working. I mean, both are just, I don't know. Right now, I'm thinking east, but I think we'll just stage on the drive, I guess. You've got like 5 different areas storms might go, and you just gotta kind of close enough, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's the good part. It's not like we have the other just yet. But east is really exploding right now. East is really exploding near El Reno. Thinking east is exploding. I just can't get a view of everything just yet, but we're gonna turn here in 4 miles. We're gonna turn here in 4 miles and get scooting east. right. All right. I have not looked at Iowa much today. I did see that there was some severe weather up there. There are a couple severe thunderstorms. Actually, it just looks like one near Ames, Iowa. The risk up there, there's definitely a severe weather risk in Iowa, but it's not very high today. There's not a severe watch out yet. There is just, and then there is some flash flooding up by Algona, and a special weather statement for Lime Springs. I can't really tell you what's going to happen with the future of that just because I haven't looked at it too closely. Right now there's not a ton going on. Tornado reported. Is that a fall cloud in Kansas that was reported? Yeah, somebody reported the fall cloud in Kansas. That's better than what we were seeing. We gotta get going east. That's our storm. Thing going up by El Reno. Well, I think we are going to see a supercell today, maybe, which is better than what we saw yesterday. But that must have been a very, very small area of increased capping. Because, I mean, this storm's going up about a county from where that weather balloon was launched at 4 o'clock, and it is, to be fair, I guess it is almost 7 o'clock now, so I mean, it's been a couple hours. But there is our updraft. We're getting a full kind of anvil trying to go now. I mean, I guess this is the target. El Reno. I mean, maybe we're getting trolled and this is not a healthy updraft. That's a possibility too. But definitely the best looking stuff right now is east. At least on satellite and from what I can see. That might be different closer up. I think we're making the right call with east though. There's definitely, so we got our first bolt of lightning northeast of Union City, southeast of El Reno, northwest of Mustang. southwest of Yukon, kind of in that area, in the center of those towns. That's where we're heading. We are well meditated today. One of my viewers yesterday said I was just looking at normal clouds and I needed to meditate, so that's what we did. We fully meditated before today's chase, getting on a thunderstorm now. A little under an hour till we get there. It's not going to be moving very quickly, so we should keep up with it just fine. They just issued another mesoscale discussion saying threat to increase, tornado or two will be possible. I think we're on the right track here. So they're basically bullseyeing these storms that are going up on the west side of the Oklahoma City metro. For where storms are supposed to develop. Saw a tornado near El Reno this year. I think it was May 19th. It was after dark. I had a little rope tornado start flying towards me when I was taking lightning shots. Gotta be adaptable today. Hoping nothing was going to go through the Oklahoma City area like this. I mean, it's just forming, so who knows what could happen, but I was really hoping to get a storm to form out west. The threat is increasing for severe weather for the Oklahoma City metro. Storms are just now forming. We're getting on them right now. I try to stay clear of chasing metros when it's possible, but seems like there's no other option today. Some other chasers down at this gas station here we just passed. Oh, that's not a dumb question. Sometimes they don't. It can usually take a little bit for the precip to show. That's why I'll look at satellite first. And once we start getting a tower and stuff, then precip will start to show a little bit more. But it doesn't always show immediately, and they may show as very weak when they just form. That is not a dumb question. getting on a storm trying to blow up over the El Reno area right now. We're about 40 minutes out from being on a good position. Expecting explosive development of these thunderstorms. Looks like we got an overshooting top there. Anvil looks a little bit off, but I just can't see lower to the ground because we're so far. I don't think that stuff south is going to get going for a little bit either. It still looks really rough. So we're about to head through Binger, Oklahoma, moving eastbound towards some developing storms near Yukon, Oklahoma, and Mustang, Union City, southeast of El Reno. I need to get a better mic. Maybe if I have a down day, I'll see what I can do. No way we're looking at the main updraft right now. These storms aren't severe warned yet, but we do have a couple of towers going up, a couple little areas of precip showing on radar. Nothing too intense is happening yet, but severe weather is expected. Let's see here. We're not really going to El Reno, so I should change my map, get a more realistic. I guess we'll set it for Union City. So we'll be there about 35 minutes. The storms are not moving very fast at all today. Or at least they weren't forecast to. I saw that the wind profile is a little different now, so that may speed storms up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly east that's winning this battle right now. West looks like it's probably not going to initiate before dark. Same thing for south. So the main area of storms that are going up right now is just west of Oklahoma City. Service is a little bit spotty here. I apologize. Signal booster's down. Once we get through here though, we're going to be in the Oklahoma City metro. So stick with me for a little bit. The service is going to be a little spotty, but once we get through this little area here, next 10-15 miles, service will improve dramatically. So now's the time to relax. If you're in the Oklahoma City area, make sure you've got some severe weather plans. It's not expected to be particularly intense today, though a tornado or two is possible. We don't need sunglasses anymore. We don't need the AC to be on high. Winds blowing out of southeast, it looks like. South, I don't know. Be on this storm very shortly. A special weather statement has been issued for Oklahoma City. 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. We're gonna get on the perfect spot from this thing because of where we called the that western target. We're gonna be in a good spot on this storm. Definitely intensifying gradually. It's like the whole conga line is about half a county west of us, so we're out ahead of most of the other chasers right now. But there's going to be a little bit of convergence issues today. It is Oklahoma City. It is a severe weather day. So there's going to be a lot of people out chasing this. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. You never know what you're gonna get. Gotta slow down here. Should be starting to get a view of this base here. It's just all this moisture is causing a lot of haze, which is kind of obstructing our view a little bit. But this time of year, you really need this moisture if you're expecting any tornado threat in Oklahoma. Let me get over in this left lane here. All right, sorry about that. I'm not too sure what the problem was. I'm not sure what went down. I think some wire came loose or something. But I'm not sure why we're not stable. Not sure what the problem is. Alright, whenever I put the thing on power supply, it takes sound away, so that's a little annoying, but can't worry about it now. We got a storm to chase. We'll have to fix this later. Just make sure we have a couple batteries charged, and we do. Not sure why that's been happening lately. It's frustrating. But we are back. We should be back for a while. Service is just going to keep improving. We may have a couple little dips here, but hopefully everything's going smoothly now, and it is. Okay. I don't know why it... May have to try another charging cable for our camera, but it seems like this might be weakening. I can't tell. I mean, it's maintain size, I guess. But normally at this stage you'd be seeing some growth, and that's just not what's happening. It's north of Mustang now, south of Yukon. I wonder how it's looking. Oklahoma City area and see if I can neutralize the threat myself just by showing up. I have not been chasing super well, so gotta keep it moving here though. We might jerry-rig some sort of setup here. I have an idea, but won't know if it works until we actually try it to keep the camera charging while it's streaming. Hopefully service is improving a little bit now. Just all looks stable now. I don't remember having issues last time I was here. Says it has good connection, but I just don't believe it. Okay. Maybe we're doing a little bit better. Hopefully. Seems like it. Alright, I guess that just wasn't a great area for service. Those cells up by the Oklahoma City area have weakened quite a bit. So I guess we might just take our Hail Mary, go south towards this Lawton cell. We could be at Rush Springs in 30 minutes. Well, maybe not 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes again. Yeah, another 40-minute drive. Not sure why we didn't have service there for a bit. Picked 3 targets today and the storms have died at each one, but maybe this Lawton thing goes. It's got some good cloud tops on it. Sorry about that. I know we were down for a while. Kansas, well, that's the thing is, I don't think Kansas has as high of a tornado threat, especially as at dark. But, I mean, I guess that could be an option, William. I think we're going to try for Lawton. We would want a storm to go further south. No, there were a couple updrafts, but not much supercell right now. I can't really feel a pressure difference when I'm driving. If you get close to a tornado, your ears will pop, but not with ambient supercell stuff. We're driving into the wind now. So we're gonna try and go get this cell down by Lawton. It's got solid echo tops. There are some showers and thunderstorms that are trying to go up over Oklahoma City, but looking at the clouds here, it just looks really stable. It looks like these storms are not feeding on air from the ground, which means they have little tornado potential. We're getting all turned around from this chase today. We're going west, and then we're going south, we're going east, we're going south again. We haven't even seen a sustained storm yet. In 35 minutes we'll be near Rush Springs. It looks like there's a storm forming near the Lawton area, so we're gonna try for that now. I feel like a dog chasing cars. Just west of Amber now, moving south on US Highway 81, trying to get down to a developing cell in southwest Oklahoma, just southern Oklahoma maybe, but near the Lawton area. Yeah, it might be losing it too. We might just stop in Chickasha to wait for it to develop fully. Another cell apparently is blowing up to our west. This day is all sorts of confusing. Seems like that Lawton cell's doing pretty well. And get down there quickly. Reflectivity just weakened for a second there, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, there are definitely some towers that look good going up to my west. They look elevated though. So that might be a structure hail day then instead of tornado. It's way out by Grace Mont. Fort Cobb, that area. This might end up being the storm. I mean, we're on what, attempt 3 million, so just that 7:42 p.m. reflectivity scan is seems a little off. Our best to be safe, not speeding, moseying on down. Should start to get a view of the base pretty soon, not for the haze. Cloud heights are going to be low to the ground. It's cooling off a little bit faster than I'd expect, but this storm's bases are only going to be, I mean, I guess it's 1250 right now, so that's not too bad. I was expecting like 700. There's other cells going up. West of me. So we have kind of two opportunities here. I think we'll just go with this one near Lawton since it's the most well developed. But the good news about Oklahoma is we can whip around to any of these storms pretty quickly. 5% tornado risk out today with no tornado watch. Definitely a messy June type evolution of this thing. Close to Chickasha. We're actually in the city limits. There is a cell going up by Grace Mont, and then there's this one. We just got to figure out what we're gonna do. I think we go south, but we are running around in circles today. It's like a continuation of yesterday where we didn't get a storm at all. Well, we did, but we had they split, and then they both quickly died. And then they canceled the severe thunderstorm watch. Okay, we'll take a... pothole. We missed it. Perfect. Okay. We're gonna go down this street apparently. And see those two updrafts to the northwest. They don't look the best. They're really kind of hidden underneath some low clouds though. I kind of want to get out from this like low cloud deck because to me this says stable air. Alright. We are good on gas. There's another chaser behind us. Will this be the storm of the day? Who knows? Who knows? Ashley, we are on the west side of Chickasha right now, moving south towards developing storm near Lawton. What happened with Joplin? Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat when I was talking. We are moving. I see why it wanted me to take this bypass now. It's not even really a bypass, but my maps thought it was one. Whew. Keep tabs on this storm. We know, there's that other one going up by Grace Mont. They both look solid. Just not sure, because this just looks like a really stable air mass. Like, this just doesn't feel like a, hey, tornadoes or even structure, because you're going to have all this cloud kind of blocking your view. We'll keep it moving here. Well, at least we didn't drive 10 hours for today's target like yesterday. Yesterday we woke up at like 6 in the morning, made a good forecast, blasted from Colorado, or from northeast Colorado to southwest Oklahoma, and we didn't get a sustained supercell. Today we had a 2-hour drive from our hotel in Texas, so. But then I'll probably, but for sure, I'm going to be taking tomorrow off, heading back home for a day. And then I might be back out Thursday, but more than likely I'll be out Friday. I've got to be getting close to 40 or 50 chases this year. See that stop sign. Everybody's got to stop. It's a wide road. I was like, I wasn't even paying attention, and then I look up, I'm like, oh, stop sign. We made it in time though. Road is closed. Well, I don't know. I mean, that cell, holy cow, we might have to turn around here. That Grace Mont storm has massive echo tops. I mean, it's the tops of the clouds. 54,000 feet. This storm south has only 44,000 feet, so we're probably gonna turn here and reroute just based on that alone. We'll look at satellite too, but south of Sterling, Oklahoma. I think that's that southern cell. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go towards that Grace Mont thing. I think that's the only play now. I mean, somebody tweeted a picture in that storm near Lawton's dying as well. So we're gonna head up towards Grace Mont. Let's hope we have good service. We're gonna be taking back roads most of the way there. Another 30-minute drive. And we just keep getting pulled in every direction. think this is the one we want to be on. I keep saying that about everything and it ends up being wrong. So this might be what we gotta be on. They already have a special weather statement out for it. That thing is developing like crazy. I just checked echo tops just to see, and sure enough, I mean, it could be that these things are a little bit, I don't know, we're just struggling to get a storm. Head up towards Anadarko. Another 30-minute drive. We are going in circles. Classic storm chase. We're playing whack-a-mole with these things right now. And we're 30 minutes too slow on all of them. Go any hopes of photogenic structure though with this cloud deck. Alright, we're gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna get a water out of the back. Two seconds and we'll be back. This stuff. We're gonna keep going northwest. We've gone every direction today to get to a storm. We started off going west, then we went south, then we went east, then we went south. Now we're going west again. That was a big spire. And then we're going about to be going north here. So we're going every which way trying to find something. Going everywhere to find something. Just hoping to get some big hail at this point. If it's elevated, there might be a pretty good chance for that. Which it very well might be looking at these skies. Yeah, everybody's realizing that Carnegie, Fort Cobb, Grace Mont, Binger, and Darko sells the place. We were just in Binger too. Alright, I'm not too sure how well service is going to be maintained here. Hopefully it's good, I'm not sure. I have not really been through this specific area too much. I think with, I don't know, Joplin just developed very quickly, and people did wait for the sirens, but nowadays there's a lot better ways to get warnings. I mean, they send push notifications to your phone. Weather radio is a great way. I always keep one with me just for emergencies. You can watch live storm chasers or live people covering weather, local meteorologists. There's a lot of ways to get your information. It's just sirens might not be the best. And I think that came to be a realization with Joplin and previous tornadoes from that year. I mean, when Joplin hit, I was only 8 years old when that one happened. I lived in St. Louis, Missouri at that time, though. I remember 2011 just because we would constantly be having quote-unquote tornado practice drills at like 3 p.m. multiple times a week in May, to the point where we all knew they weren't really drills anymore, even at that age. Heading up towards this Grace Mont storm. It's probably going to be this or nothing. They were tornado risk all the way down to like Wichita. They lowered. So this severe warned storm now near Grace Mont. North of Vernon. Of it. Lake Chickasha is the main obstacle that we'll have to find a way around when chasing this thing. Right here. It's just going to be tough to see anything with skies like this. There's not going to be much definition to these storms. So great supercell structure is probably out of the question. We're either chasing for some big hail or a tornado. Definitely the storm to watch, though. First severe warned storm for our general target area today. Done a massive circle today. We drove out to El Reno, then we drove to Hinton, and then we drove to Weatherford, then we drove south to Corn. We drove east to Binger, then to Minko, and then we drove to Chickasha, and then we drove. Now we're going back west. We're playing Snake right now on these Oklahoma roads. Man, it is hazy. I mean, our storms are going to be very low to the ground with how much we're cooling off. This feels more like a hail threat, though, than anything, and damaging wind. But it's tough to chase damaging wind. See if we can. All right, yeah, we're gonna hit this road, go west, be there in 15 minutes, should have a view. Should have a view. storm. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising to get a tornado with this just because of how little it's going to have. I mean, it's not going to be contending with too much cold air, I don't think, just given how low to the ground the storm is. So if there's a stable layer, it may be able to kind of ignore that a little bit. But we don't have strong shear, it's just strong energy. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. Hopefully it doesn't really hit anything or go over anything. What an odd evolution we've had today. It all makes sense, it's just you don't just usually see blanketed sky cover like this leading up to your storm forming. Good. Over a lane here. I was here chasing when? April 27th, I think? I was in this general area. A little bit further west though. I was by Fort Cobb. I know that this is a little bit of rough terrain, but we'll manage it easily. We chased Missouri the other week, so we can do that. We can do anything. Got 9 miles to go till we go north. Chat again here. Hello Elizabeth, welcome to the chat. How are you doing? Oh yeah, Missouri, I don't know. I feel like there's just a tornado hole in Missouri lately. It just hasn't really happened much there. I mean, this year they had stuff in southern, but just that one year, 2011, we always had it. New Year's Eve, 2010, December 31st, 2010, there was a tornado outbreak in the St. Louis area. We had an EF3 hit my town and killed one person. That was until I started chasing, that was hands down the strongest storm I'd ever seen in person. Now there's definitely some that top it, but it was just so odd because it was December 31st. You know, it's not exactly a day you'd think, oh, you know, tornadoes. Especially not that far north. Well, these low clouds are clearing a little bit, so this is an explosive updraft. This is exactly what we're looking for. We are going to get on this thing just in time, I think. I mean, it seems like we do need to go all the way to Fort Cobb. Because it seems like that's where the there's a little tiny weak little rotation couplet near Fort Cobb. But I don't know if you guys can see it or how well you can see it, but there is, you can kind of see, so we've got one updraft in front of us, which is kind of nothing, but then off to the right there is a much larger updraft. You can see the anvil on the left side of the screen. There is a low clouds obstructing, but definitely warm, I think. We're not going to be able to get a great view of it though until we're close. Welcome, Mary from Nova Scotia. That's cool. Yeah, not a lot of places will get sirens anymore. I mean, sometimes it just happens because the National Weather Service doesn't control the sirens, if I remember right. It's usually the county. So that's why you can get tornado sirens going off in places where there's no tornado warning, because it's in your county or it's close to your county or something like that. We're getting close to this storm right now. It's looking pretty solid. I mean, bases are going to be ground scraping. This thing's going to be low to the ground and it's going to be mean. So we got to be vigilant with this thing. Might be a fog-nado chase. Yeah, we're going to keep going. We are going to keep going here down to Fort Cobb area. This thing is just going to be so low. It's going to be really tough to see this storm. I mean, it's not going to take much for this thing to... I mean, if it produces a tornado, just given how low to the ground it is, it might be pretty big. This really reminds me of kind of driving up to a storm on the April 26th tornado outbreak in Nebraska and Iowa. I wasn't on the main show. I was to the west on the cold core target. And this is just kind of, this is a little bit how it was. It wasn't quite this foggy and hazy and low to the ground, but it was close. And we got a pretty big tornado near Rock Springs, Nebraska. I think it was an EF1 or something, but it was pretty big. We're gonna go all the way up to Fort Cobb. Getting some scud bombs maybe. In Anadarko right now. Well, there is a way we can go. Okay, we're deviating south now, so we're definitely not gonna go north. The updraft of the storm is starting to move southwards, so going north here to then go west wouldn't make much sense. We're going to go west, and it should be pretty close to us by the time we get there. I'm excited. I'm ready for a storm chase. I haven't seen a real strong storm in a couple chases. Hoping it just goes over nothing, but... I think I've had 3 or 4 busted chase days in a row. And the day before that didn't. We had a good storm structure for like 20 minutes. And I think the day before was a bust as well, so. I've been getting my butt kicked this season, but we're still gonna be out no matter what. Storms aren't gonna chase themselves. Just need a good storm to kind of come out of my slump. Been targeting poorly, obviously, and I've been chasing okay. I mean, there hasn't been a ton to chase here in the U.S. I mean, there was that Silverton, those gorgeous tornadoes down by Silverton, Texas 2 days ago that I just didn't see coming in time. I woke up in North Platte, Nebraska, so I mean, it was a crazy call to decide to leave there at like 11 a.m. to drive south. I probably would have made it and seen a tornado, but it's just tough to make that call. Especially when it looks like storms are going to go up an hour or two before that. You just don't know. Alrighty. We're doing good on gas still. Drove 36,000 miles this season to chase so far. How many states have we chased? I don't think we've chased New Mexico yet, so I guess that's a plus. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri. Chased 8 states this year. Really want to chase Wyoming and South Dakota again. Those are 2 of my favorite places to chase. Not a lot of people tend to be up there because it tends to be later in the year. And everybody tends to be a little bit burnt out by then. And the events, you can't really see them coming as far away as you can the early seasons. So it tends to be pretty cloudless chasing with good road networks. Gorgeous terrain. So I'm ready for that season up there for sure. It's pretty rare for me to be in Oklahoma and Texas this time of year. I mean, I guess last year I was, but 2021 I wasn't, and 2022 I wasn't either. But I mean, it's been a crazy, crazy year. What's the speed limit? Assume 35. Yeah, that was right. You can see the sign up here. So we're about to go westward now. Little couplet up by Fort Cobb. Take a right here, get on 62. I always get so amped up when my storm forms and when it looks good. Taking a right here. This is the same chaser that was behind us in Chickasha. Keep forgetting how to say it. I looked it up earlier. Looks a little messy right now, but could already be lining out. So we're just going to want to target the tail end of this thing. Near Fort Cobb is where that is roughly. Severe warned storm. Kind of a messy look to it. But our shear is pretty weak today, so that's not too surprising. Hopefully we can maintain service through here. Oops. These clouds are low. I remember service being spotty through here, so please just bear with me. Once we get to the other side, I think it gets better. Getting close to the base. Although it was not this low to the ground last time I was here. There it is. Kind of the base of our storm. It's definitely not like super descript, obviously, because of how low these clouds are. It's a big storm. Hill north of us. This is a storms that scare me more than I don't know, those UFO looking things, because these are just so tough to make anything out. I mean, look at that. Like, where are we looking for anything? We just gotta watch for clues and be vigilant. We're going under the base now. It's a broad base. I think once we come up this road, it gets a little more clear. Yeah. Well, we're gonna actually pump up with gas because we have a second. I'm at half a tank right now, and I don't like chasing below a half. So this will also be a good spot to pull over and view everything, so it kind of works out both ways. Alright, we can turn the air down quite a bit now. It seems like we may have like a little horseshoe type thing here. I don't know. It's just very nondescript. So I'm gonna fill up. I'll be right back. It feels like I'm wearing the air outside. It is so humid. Starting to get some lightning and thunder, but seems like a little, maybe a little horseshoe cut in front of us. I can't really tell that well. But we've got like inflow tail maybe, I don't know. Okay, we're filled up with gas. There is like a little area kind of straight west, or straight ahead. It just, like there's like clouds flowing towards it. It looks maybe like it's a horseshoe. Let's make sure that everything's working. Yeah, very, very creepy. Rain wrapped, I mean, it might be, given how this is. It's kind of forming on some kind of boundary. That's why those other cells are lighting up. We are in a good spot right now. I think we can go south here. Yeah, there's a highway that takes us south. It seems pretty linear at the moment. Got another chaser next to us, but we're gonna... I don't want to get too far from this highway, because the highway that takes us south is our escape. So what we'll do is we'll come up through here. I think this is our area of interest right here in front of us. Definitely kind of some mixed characteristics for this thing. Because this just seems like an RFD cut. Like you've got rain falling and then it's just kind of... I'm not too sure. It's a gut feeling, but I think we're looking at the right spot. Gotta keep an eye out for anything that looks scary. We may have another lowering developing to our right, which would kind of confirm this as a horseshoe then. I mean, I can't tell. It could be a mix. It's kind of linear looking. Off to the right, though, we're getting some low scud that's rising up into the clouds. a couple chasers here now watching. It might be this area on the right. It's a little off camera right now. I'm just trying to get my bearings because I don't want to dive south if I don't have to. Because this to me in front of us seems outflowy now. Get out and grab a picture, I guess, because I need to document this storm with my other camera. A lot of other chasers here. I think we're looking at the, I think the leading edge of it where we're interested is off to the right. I mean, it looks like RFD cut with rain wrapping to me. With a little occlusion maybe right there. I can't tell. Maybe broad rotation on it. I'll turn you guys in a second so you can see it better, but we're in a parking spot right now. I don't want to just cross it. We're gonna move to a different spot so you guys can get a better view. I'm not too sure what this is doing, but it's definitely coming towards us. So. That right in front of us, right there, is where I'm looking right kind of tucked in the rain, but it just seems like a little bit of an odd spot. We'll look at radar real quick here. Hopefully the stream's still up. Perfect. So we are live west of Anadarko. And apparently there's also, I think that's exactly what we're looking for, something back in there, but it's so humid. I gotta like, our windshield's gonna start fogging up from this. Yeah, there's definitely a little hook here. We are just on the southwest corner of this hook echo right now. Yeah, echo tops are huge on this storm. It's massive. I'm thinking, well, echo tops are, that jump is further west. Interesting. We'll have to keep that in mind because it definitely feels like there's like some sort of hook feature in front of us. It may have gone away and it kind of seems a little nondescript again. But it felt like we had some brief little, maybe it's still back there, just tucked in the rain. I'm just not. like there may be another couplet forming to our west, so we're really going to have to keep an eye out on that. Check our correlation coefficient. It's pretty high everywhere. So I don't just want to rush it and fly south because I'm a little worried that that's going to put us in the path of something that's trying to form to our west. And we're definitely getting some outflow type stuff right now. I'm not seeing anything that says, hey, tornado. Is going south here really the best idea? I mean, it might be. That couplet might just be side lobing, and it probably is. We need to switch radars. Yeah, we're gonna go south. We are going to go south. Man, these types of storms are creepy. These low bases. Back there, so that's the problem with a storm mode like this, is it's just going to fill with rain so fast. Above us is spinning a little. I need to breathe, or am I going nuts? I might be going nuts. But that thing above us, we got like a little weird. Oh, great, we got a smudge in the worst possible spot. I'll have to fix that whenever we stop. I just don't think there's much reason to fly here. We barely know what we're looking at. I mean, I guess that's reason enough, but I think the main... It's a little wall cloud-like over there, but again, nothing that's incredibly telling. Look at all these chasers up here. We're gonna have to stop and clean the windshield off. We got one streak and it's right in the middle. Like a little eddy on the leading edge, kind of spinning when we were leaving. I'm not too sure what that's about. Kind of another hook trying to... I need to turn up the brightness on the camera. 1 mile is in the road on PT. It is so humid. One mile-ish, 0.7 miles. Crazy storm. I mean, it's just tough to see. This is why everybody was hoping we get something daytime, just because otherwise the chasing was going to turn into this with really low cloud bases and high humidity, and it's just tough to see, tough to chase. Not a situation where you would want to be in the path of anything, just because you can't get a clear view. And there's a whole chance it's just, you know, lapse rates are too poor for it to produce something at the surface. Visual on that first kind of thing. Pause for a second on this road, because it looks like there might be another hook trying to develop, kind of like we just were. And there's kind of a little scuddy thing there. I need to find a better place to hopefully that fixed it. We gotta get moving south because we're about to get caught up in the gust front. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't have time to clean the smudges. Definitely just seems outflow. Go south and then okay, I can literally just go south on this the whole way, but I'm gonna go this way. We just keep getting like brief little kind of tastes, it feels like, of a actual supercell. This thing is definitely just struggling with shear, it seems like, too. And it's on this boundary where all these storms keep initiating. There's kind of a little hook again off to our west here. Like, it just, I'm not too sure what this thing's doing. It just seems like every time it produces a new little hook, it produces it off to the west. I mean, which is given the most. It's probably not just cleanly a supercell. We're getting some on the back side of this updraft here, so I'm kind of intrigued. I mean, this seems the most like what we're looking for of what we've seen so far. Some chasers here. Whatever it is, it's going to be northwest of us right now. So we're kind of on it feels like the back side of a linear storm right now. Go around. I'm just not a fan that there's all these of what to me seems like the main part of the storm. I mean, I could be reading this thing wrong and just throwing a bunch of what I want to see in, or what I think I want to see, or what I think, you know. I just want to get up here and see if we can see underneath his face. We pull off here, right next to this guy. Our hook looks like it's just off to our west here. I'm not seeing anything that says tornado or anything that says funnel cloud or anything that says. I think we're looking at the right spot. Cold. I have my air down too much. That little hook thingy on radar is already gone. We're in like a whale's mouth now, so. Some descending motion back here. It's kind of rotating a little. Not sure what this would be. It's all like really high up. Huh. Well, we're behind a whale's mouth, and we've got some, I guess, high base rotation. So this is nothing. I'll grab a picture. See how this looks. Alright, what is our move? We can go south here, stay on this road. I mean, what are we thinking here? This updraft merger might do something, so maybe we just try and get in position for that. Hey, wait a minute. Big time downdraft's coming through now. It's time to move. We gotta get on the new stuff to the south. We have a crazy whale's mouth in front of us though. Oh, now the rain's getting in. Whoops. Alright. Well, I really need to turn up the brightness on the thing. I'll get to that in a second. But I think this updraft merger, we're going to need to get kind of out of this mess. Definitely riding some kind of boundary there. Had some nice texture on the back side of this thing. I can see kind of the bottom of that other updraft to our west, and I just don't see anything that's that interesting. I mean, it's scuddy, it's low, but I mean, we're losing supercell character fast on every updraft. Like, we were already whales mouthing on this. Yeah, I think we just need to go. I think we just need to get south. And maybe go west if we can. Don't think there's much of a tornado threat with this. An incredible whale's mouth though. Yeah, all those new updrafts to the west, I think, is where we need to be. Because I just don't think, I think everything that's developed is going to struggle. So I guess we're looking for some hybrid. If we're looking for a tornado, it's probably going to be some spin up along a boundary, kind of like a land spout type thing, hybrid, but we don't even know if low level instability can support that. So given what the rest of the storm looks like, I don't think it can. Hopefully I'm reading this right. Because I really think that we're going to need some sort of boundary help, maybe. Because our current storm is not a supercell. This is clearly like a kind of a hybrid QLCS supercell mix thing. But it's not fully a supercell, and it's definitely not. It's leaning more towards mesoscale convective system than it is supercells. I mean, this is a crazy whales now. Alright, like I gotta turn the I have to turn the defrost thing on for the windshield because of how humid it is outside. It's fogging up my windshield if I have it off. We're just gonna look at this, take a meander at this thing west, but I think I see a little fine line leaving, and it seems like our storm may be getting undercut already, which would make sense because of the whale's mouth, but even the storm west then might just be completely elevated. Not too sure. What the heck, let's go west. There's a new updraft going up over here. I mean, we're still under whale's mouth. It just might, maybe, it's probably wind shear now that's just not strong enough to support the supercell. Because these have not been super strong downdrafts. It's not like this thing's just getting blown apart by outflow every time. I just want to see what this updraft west looks like. Definitely seems like it's back behind behind this boundary. Tornado chances from this are 0. It just seems too I mean, like, this is all outflow now too. And this is the westernmost thing, so we're just under a complete whale's mouth. So that boundary is moving south, undercutting. See if we can maybe see something on the back side of this, because you can kind of see where it tries to stay attached up here, but yeah, this is just struggling. Whale's mouth intercept. Alright. Oops. It's not turning very gently. You just stop him and turn. And the lightning bolt go pretty close to us. This is just getting blasted south, this boundary here. All this sinking air on the back side like this. Still seems like we're about done. I mean, we're just getting blasted southeast with outflow. Actually, we're on the leading edge of this whale's mouth right now as it's racing this way. It's like cutting through the storm. I can see its little like tendrils as it rushes to kill this thing, or make it not kill it, but make it elevated. Over here, out for Lawton. I got like a little hook attempt on the back side of this, but with solid service here. Are we there? We might be here. Not sure why. I've been getting really spotty service today, so definitely due to the signal booster being down, but let's see if we can't find a place to stop up here. We are gonna go ahead and call this thing as soon as we can find a good stopping point here. Another chase, another bust. Very common for me. This back confused me for a second. But we did not see anything good today, so another bust. But severe weather will continue for a little bit. They have a